Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV and welcome to the Friday Night Social again on the 12th of June. And as usual, we've got guests in the house. We've got Tom, we've got Martin, we've got Karl, Chris, Alan, and we've got Ryan. So first up, I'm going to just check in as usual and see. Not spoke to many of them for a week. So Tom, how's your last week been since last week's Friday Night Social, mate?
It's been okay. I'm not going to mention what the majority of my week is involving because I'll just get comments from Martin. So yeah, it's been a very good week with me doing lots of work for school, and I'm going to leave it at that.
You can't leave it there. No, you can't leave it there, mate.
Every day I've been doing my workouts as usual, but yeah, it's just the same sort of week, just getting the work done for school because I've got deadlines and stuff. Yeah, so it's been all right. The weather's not been as great this week, so not being able to go out and that as much to go and see my granddad. But yeah, it's been all right.
Brilliant. Martin, how are you, mate?
Really good for a change.
Yeah.
Was that it? I was it. Quick one. Right now, back at work. Kids are back. I'm in my bubble. Not my own little world. My bubble at work. Not my own little world bubble.
All right. So you're in two different bubbles.
Yeah, probably.
Two different worlds.
Yeah. So yeah, really good. Been busy. It's been nice to get the kids back and smiling. They came in Wednesday and you could see the fear on the face. And then by the end of Wednesday, they were smiling. We put all the fears aside and they were glad they were back.
Brilliant.
And next week, getting more children. Can't wait.
Very, very good. Alan, over in Melbourne, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. I've obviously been working all week. We had, as I mentioned last week, we had a demonstration last Saturday, which, to be fair, was reasonably peaceful, but something like 15,000, 20,000 people turned up in Melbourne, but all stood together when obviously the State Premier and the Prime Minister said, please don't have a demonstration in the COVID epidemic. And it came out on Thursday that a few people have contracted COVID who were at the protest. So now there's a bit of a panic here. But there is another demonstration again today. We'll see what happens. So it's sort of mixed because, whilst I agree with a protest and the subject of it, I wasn't agree. I think the timing was pretty poor when we're trying to get out of it, to be fair.
Okay, no problem. Just to let you know, you just broke up a little bit there on us, so I don't know whether you want to come off and come back on again. But I'll bring Chris in. Chris, how's your week been, mate?
Yeah, not too bad out here in Estonia. Apparently, no, it's been.
Have you got room 40? Have you got room 43?
Yes, I have, mate. Yeah, thanks for the present.
My old room.
Has he got that maid? Has he got the same maid you had?
Yeah, he has.
Why is Karl Pilkington on this stream every week?
I don't know.
I like that one. I'll remember that one. It's quality.
Our very own Karl.
Carry on, Ginger Nut. Off you go.
Yeah. It's been a quiet week, mate. Not done much at all, really. Same as the last 11 weeks or whatever it's been. Just messing about with, working with the kids and doing school work and stuck indoors.
Okay, Karl, over in Washington, how are you, buddy?
I'm better this week than last week. I've been busy at work. Work has been really busy. So this time of year, we have a lot of proposals that we have to work through. It's year-end money, so we have to work through that. It's been really busy for me. The good thing, state of Maryland, we crushed the curve, the COVID-19 curve in our state, which is really good. People stayed indoors. People didn't go out much. Social distancing. There was testing all over the whole place. It's just this issue of how the states works, the federation of the different states. Our governor's Republican, great guy. Love him to bits. Guy's responsible. He's dedicated. He gets it. A really good guy. And then, and I realized this week that I hate the Bundesliga. It's shit. I'm sorry. Sorry, Ryan.
Don't tell Ryan that.
Sorry, Ryan. It's just terrible. It's just no point.
I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I've not watched one single minute of football, so I've got no interest
I
in
only
it.
like
But
Ryan's.
I did see your tweet, I think, yesterday about how boring is this game or whatever else and
Wait.
whatever. I don't know.
Who do you like?
Your club, your team.
You like Karl?
Oh, what?
Yes.
Why do you not like Dusseldorf, Karl? Come on, Dusseldorf for the woods. Come on.
It's because I message him every Karl game. I'm like, because
Oh,
I messaged him saying that because I think this was the first week where they'd had audio coming through on BT Sport, like crowd noises, and it made a real difference.
You've been brainwashing him, haven't you?
Hang on,
Yeah.
it made a real difference. You do know it's fake, don't you?
It sounded
real.
just like a Premier League game.
It does make a difference, though, Martin. It sounded weird, but
It did.
competent. Yeah.
Well, I read.
In empty stadium.
Well, I did read. I did read. I can't remember it. Well, I think it was Barney Ronay in the Guardian. I read an article yesterday morning, and he speaks fluent German, and I think he's got some family relatives, something or a German. Hence the interest. And he was talking about it, and he said the problem with the German language when they tried to put it as crowd noise, it doesn't come because there's lots of grunting and in the way the language comes across, and it doesn't sound right when it's not a real crowd noise. And he said he found it very weird listening to sort of like this crowd noise, fake crowd noise in German. He said, I'm sure if they pipe it through in the Premier League, it'll probably sound a lot better than it will do in the Bundesliga. But anyway, that's everybody who's on the tonight's Friday Night Social. What we're going to do tonight is I've thrown the floor open to the guests and basically said to them, you've all got a question you can ask now. Martin has held the fort this week and he's done a brilliant job going through all the cast stuff and everything else. So we're going to steer clear of all the cast stuff because it's we won't know
Clapping
anything.
correctly.
We won't know until sort of July, August what's going on with the cast stuff. So we're going to stay clear of that. And there's been, very limited, to be fair, very limited information come out after the 3-day hearing. So what I decided to do was throw it over to the guys and say, look, you can ask anything about football as whatever you want. So first up tonight is Karl. You're going first because I know that you will have to go because you've got meetings and things. So you're going to kick us off tonight and ask the rest of the guests and myself a question. And what is that question?
Yeah, before we get to the question, I just want to really congratulate you guys on the channel. It's getting better and better and better, and really enjoying the content, the production, really good stuff. So kudos to you guys, making it enjoyable for us City fans around the whole world. My question is around. Yeah,
Karl, you need to thank Kiam for the production. He's the one doing all the graphics. He's doing a marvelous job with that. Not saying it's been Andy. Kiam does all the graphics, mate.
Yeah,
he does a wonderful job.
Yeah, my question is pretty simple. So now that everybody's fit in the City team, Laporte's back, Sane, Martin is back.
That's the first in the swear jar.
With everybody fit, do you think that we can win the Champions League? Why or why not?
Okay. Who do you want to ask that one to?
I'll go
Let's
last.
start with Martin.
Okay.
You literally just set that up for yourself. Why would you even say, can I go last?
Go on then. Over to
How long
you.
have you got, Karl? An hour. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not because. Yeah, I think we'll win it. I'm going to be honest. I think we'll win it. I think we'll get past Madrid. Don't know about this Lisbon tournament we're going to do with this knockout when we get through to it. That could be easily. I don't know how to word this in a nice way. It could be easily set up in a favourable way for certain teams. That really, if you're doing a one-game playoff. I'm going to be. I've said it before. I don't think a certain someone will take part, even though he's taking part in friendlies. I don't think he will take part. But everyone's fit, so yeah, no reason why not.
Okay.
Ryan?
I was gonna have kind of something similar in my question, but I've not gone with City winning the Champions League. I'll say who I've got when we get to my question, as that does kind of come into mind. But I think we're definitely semi-final team, but I don't know if we're quite ready for the final. Maybe even if we get to the final, that I think we'd still struggle to win. I think there's set of around 4 teams that will get the semi-finals. I think it'll be us, Atletico, probably Juventus, and Bayern. And I think all of those games could be won by either team on the day. But I think I have my idea for who I think will win, and I don't think it'll be City.
Okay. Alan?
Say me.
Yeah.
Alan, you there, mate?
Yeah, I'm here. My heart.
I can't see you.
Can you not? I can see you.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. You just answer the question then.
Okay. My heart says City will win it, but my head says they won't. Personally, I don't think our defence is good enough to keep clean sheets against the real top teams. And that's the problem. So the UEFA FA Cup, as I call it, we'll have to wait for another year or 2, depending.
Okay. Or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Chris?
Well, my thoughts are pretty similar to Alan's. I think our biggest worry in Europe is our defence. It's been our Achilles heel this season. But saying that, this is the year I suppose we have as good a chance as ever if there aren't outside influences making dodgy decisions, like which I think UEFA might be fully open to, if with the old cast debate and everything. I think, So I don't think we will win it. But if there's any year we to break through, it probably is this year.
Yeah, and thanks. And Tom, what do you think?
Well, for me, I think we will win it this year. I think we've got a good mentality. It's good that all the lads are going to be back. Leroy, Imric, good to have those 2 back. A good attacking threat and good defensive threat. Sorts out the defence and can sort out the attack. I look at the mentality that they used, the fight back at Madrid, and I can definitely see him going far with that sort of mentality, especially in a massive stadium with those fans there. And I also look at, when you look at the Premier League side, I'm going to involve it in this, and because there's 5 substitutions allowed, I think that we're able to rest players and make sure that when the Champions League competitions come around, they'll all have more energy, which means that I think we're able to utilise that to our advantage. So yeah, I think that we're able to win it this year based on the fact that I think because we've got all the lads back, we'll go far. Because we did it. You have to remember we beat Madrid without Sane or Laporte, because Laporte went off injured in the first 20 minutes. So yeah, I think that we'll go far.
Yeah. Andy, what do you think?
My heart says no, because I don't think UEFA will let us. Because I think it'll be a massive embarrassment if City were to win it this season, regardless. But what I do think is, as much as I don't like the Lisbon idea, I do think a one-off game, I think, will suit City. If you look at the way we have played 2 legs in the past, it's not favoured us. It really hasn't favoured us at all. We go back to the Madrid, the 0-0 and things like that. We go back to the Spurs game. I think a one-off game in a tournament, I think we could do really well in that tournament, regardless of where it is. Do I think City will win it? Deep down, as much as I think we've got a great chance, and even on the back of what I just said, I won't say who I think will win it. I'll wait that for Ryan's question, because he said he wasn't going to say it. So Ryan's obviously got a question on something to do with the Champions League. So I'm going to hold back who I have wrote down Champions League winner for this year, if I'm honest. So, but I do think a one-off game might suit City better this season than a 2-legged affair. So who knows? Will UEFA allow us to win it? That's another question. Interesting. So quite a bit of positivity in that question. So we're going to move to Chris. Your question, mate, for tonight.
Okay, well, like I just said in the answer to Carl's question, defence this season has been.
Somebody having a shave. Sounds like somebody's having a shave. Well, I know. Well, shut up.
Right. So
we won't go down that route.
What is that?
What is that noise?
So somebody's a bit bored.
Yeah.
My razor isn't on.
I'm gonna have to come off camera and I'm going.
Martin, go next door and see your wife. There is like, if you can't hear it, there is like a zzz.
It's gone now.
It's gone.
Oh.
Maybe Alan's left. Maybe I think Alan's having a few technical issues because he keeps coming and going, and I don't think he's got it. His Wi-Fi's quite right. So
I had another line for that. I can't say.
I know. Let's go. Let's carry on for the sake of obviously Karl's got to go. So Chris, can you just go through your question again, please?
Okay, mate. So like I said in Karl's question, so this season our defence has been our Achilles heel. So I'd like to know who you think has cut the mustard, and who desperately needs to go, and also take into consideration stuff like the Cass case, and we can't just do a wholesale get rid of the back four, back eight defenders, and who we might be able to get in to replace some of these defenders who might be better than we might be able to get. So really, it revolves around the defence and which players you're comfortable with and the ones you really want to see go.
So the players that we're happy with and the players we want to see go out are the defenders.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who's that to?
Okay. I'll go to Karl first.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, for the defense, I think that Nicolas Otamendi and John Stones need to go. I would rather have Howard Taylor-Bellis and Eric Garcia partner with the Aramaic Report than have those two there. Frankly, I think that Stones has had 4 years, 3-4 years, made same mistakes. Otamendi is on the backside of his career. I think we need to promote the young guys, partner them with. Assuming we don't buy anyone else, partner them with Laporte. Let Bellis and Laporte play with Walker and Mendy or somebody else. But for me, Stones, I think his time is up, and then Otamendi is on the backside of his career. So for me, he would go up front. I'm Mahrez. I just feel there's something not right, man, with Mahrez. But give him a year and see what happens. And then that's it for me. It's just those two defenders, Stones and Otamendi for me.
Okie dokie.
So Alan was waving there. That's why people were waving back. Yeah, we can hear you, Alan, but there's a little bit of interference. So I don't know whether it's from your Wi-Fi or something, but getting a bit of feedback. So okay, Karl, second person.
Tom.
Well, for me, there's a few that are going to stay and a few that are going to go. Stones is the obvious person that will probably leave. I'm not going to opinion on him, but I think he's not going to go. He's just not up to standard, as you all know. That I think that we need a strong centre back to come in, especially. We need at least 2 centre backs to come in this summer to make sure that we're successful next year. That's a must. Unpopular opinion, but if we had to choose for one right back to go out, I'd say Walker would leave and keep Cancelo. As much as we've had so much confrontation with him, I think that if we give him a chance, he'll able to he'll prove what he's worth. So I'd take Walker out and maybe bring in, I don't know, Hakimi from Borussia Dortmund. We're interested in him. He's obviously gone back to Real Madrid by the time we get him.
Did you just say take Walker out and keep Cancelo?
Yeah.
I'm starting to question whether you've watched games this year now.
What?
I have watched games this year.
Are you saying take Kyle Walker out, who's been one of our best players this season, and put Cancelo in his place?
Yeah, Ryan will back me up with the stats later on because there is stats to prove that Cancelo is better.
Oh, don't even go there. Stats.
I think that he will be better. I think we just need to give him a chance. Honestly, he wants to stay now apparently, so I think this is a time we need to give him a chance. And if there was one right back to go out, Walker would be the one to go out for some of the stuff that's happened over the past few months.
So you'd rather Walker go out because he went out once or twice with his mate, other than Cancelo, who says he don't want to be here.
He didn't want to be here because he didn't get any play time, and Pep said that he'll give him play time if he stays. So I think that we need to give him at least another season.
No, he said he'd give him game time if he's listened to what he was saying, telling him to do, and he's not obviously listening.
Trust me, I reckon it'll be different. People have had time to think.
Walker's been our best fullback all season.
I'm not denying that. But the thing is, I think he'll go to Sheffield United at some point.
What?
I think he will.
Tom. Can I just quickly step in here?
Yeah,
mate. I know you've been pumping some stuff, but you're not taking any substances, are you?
No.
All right, good.
It's just my opinion, though. Like, we have the opinions on the Sane thing.
Of course. I'm only joking.
Yeah, I know. I just think
you're entitled to your opinion.
If we give him a chance, look at Mahrez last year. This time last year, we were saying Mahrez was crap.
Don't go down that road.
No, I'm just saying this is and this season he's played really well. I think he's had a good season.
I agree.
And Bernardo Silva in his first season, we all said he wasn't cut for it. And 2 seasons, and the next 2 seasons, he's had 2 of the best seasons in his life, winning over 6 trophies personally and with club competition.
Two different players.
Sterling was crap the first year.
Exactly, and
I think this year and all.
Go on, mate. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Go on.
Sterling was told exactly the same thing. Listen to Pep, and you'll be all right. He's listened, and I think if Cancelo listens to Pep, I reckon he could come a really good right back, and that's why I'd keep him because I think he's got potential.
Just on the Cancelo thing, then maybe it's something I'll come back to later, but you do know the people who watched him in Italy all said he's not a good right back. All of the analysts said in Italy he's not a good right back. I just don't understand why you would take out our best right back and going to be England's right back, possibly with Trent Alexander-Arnold next season in the England team, and then suddenly throw in somebody who, one, is clearly not happy here, don't want to be here, hasn't been great when he's played, he's probably had one half-decent game. Why you would want to replace somebody who's been our best defender this season for somebody who's completely not a right back, can't defend.
Well, there's stats to prove that he's got a better tackle rate than Walker.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense because stats will only show you the games that he played. That's like saying Mahrez has got better stats than so-and-so. Mahrez's games, when he scored most of the goals, apart from 1 or 2 games, were against crap teams. So stats are irrelevant. They're useless most of the time. All it shows you is stats. It doesn't show you actually the teams, really, when you do the breakdown on teams that they played against. So stats are irrelevant, really, when it comes to player analysis, unless they're playing 38 games a season.
Well, Chris, there you go.
Cancelo said he's unhappy.
Sorry?
I got killed for that when I said Sane was unhappy, and you went, "Where's your evidence?"
Portuguese interview that I did on the live vlog. Come on, Martin, keep
Chris, I don't want to turn it into a debate. I don't want to turn it into a 2-hour debate because of my opinion. So,
quotations. They were comments by Cancelo in a Portuguese article. Keep up. Okay, next one.
I'll go to Ryan with his stats.
Cheers for this.
I've
Back me
in
up,
case,
Ryan,
in
mate.
case, don't worry. In case you hadn't been able to tell, me and Tom have previously spoke today, and yeah. So I think centre back wise, I'm getting rid of Stones, keeping Otamendi. I think he's got a year left on his deal now, so.
We're not pleasing everyone here tonight.
So we've got.
Someone's
We're
leaving.
keeping Otamendi, and I think
Well,
Otamendi.
that's what it's all about.
Even if he doesn't play a lot of the games, because I think we'd bring in another centre back to replace Stones, and so he won't be playing the majority of the games. And I think having Otamendi, he is experienced. He's 31, 32, 33. I'm not sure now. So he's got a lot of experience. He could give to Howard Bellis, to Eric Garcia, and he's played under Pep since he came here. So he's got a lot of experience under Pep. So that would be my only change at centre back. Left backs, I'm happy. We've got Angelino coming back, and then right back, I would like to just echo everything Tom has said regarding Cancelo. I would be keeping Cancelo, and I would be offloading Kyle Walker. I have previously.
FIFA generation.
No, don't put me in that FIFA generation.
I said no.
Ages ago.
FIFA generation.
I said when it first happened with Kyle Walker that I was happy to see him leave the club after that, and yeah, I'm perfectly happy with Cancelo coming in to replace him. I'll only read out one stat for you, Andy. Only one.
Go on.
Right? And it is the stat that I have read to errors leading to goals in our only important match this season. And Kyle Walker has one against Real Madrid, and Cancelo doesn't. So.
Cancelo's not played, that's why.
I rest my case.
I agree with you, Andy.
I rest my case on stats. If that is all you, if that is a stat to say keep Cancelo over what and let Walker go, my God, I told you.
Unless we keep Walker to play a net. Then that's where he can be back up.
Absolutely.
Ryan, find me a stat that shows how many wingers have run past Cancelo and how many wingers have run past Walker, and compare me on that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
It's all about opinions, though, isn't it? You know what?
No, you just said it's about stats.
I didn't know.
It's
about
like,
opinions.
And the stat you two are talking about is Kyle Walker made
I've got
one error.
Martin, I've got that for Martin already. I've got that for Martin.
Right.
Cancelo's been dribbled past 1.2 times per 90 minutes that he's played, compared to Walker's 0.7.
Yeah.
Walker's 0.7, but Cancelo's attempted more tackles, made more tackles, intercepted more passes, makes less fouls.
Just remind me of
more
how many
passes.
games. Just remind how many games has Cancelo played?
Andy, this is per 90 minutes.
No, how many games? How many games? I can play one game and we are absolutely 98% possession and nobody comes near me. And I could be signed by Barcelona and go, look at him, he's got zero this, he's got no this, he's got passes for this, he's got that. I can look like an absolute superstar in 4 or 5 games. How many games how many games?
He's played around 12 games to Walker's 24, and then minutes-wise, he's played just under 900 minutes, which is a reasonable amount of minutes to compare for per 90 stats.
And how many minutes has Walker played?
Fullback.
Around
how many?
2,000.
All right, so he's played about 10 games. He's played about 10 games. And most of those have been subs and whatever else.
No, those are starting games.
So he's played 900 minutes starting.
He's played around 900 minutes in total, as far as I'm aware, and
started,
that is unless it's around 400, you've got a reasonable amount of game time to go off per 90-minute stats, and Cancelo's better in a lot of the things.
So unless if you got 400 minutes, yeah, that's 4.5 games. So you can compare stats for somebody who's got 4.5 games. You know what it sounded like? I bet you're one. I bet you're
4.5 games though.
Well, you said you can get stats off 400 minutes. So it's like saying
you can't.
Bruno.
They're not the most reliable. That's the difference.
Are you in the Bruno Fernandes camp that he's the best midfielder in the Premier League because he played 4.5 games?
I mean, he's not the best midfielder in the Premier League, but I mean, he's up there as one of the best midfielders in the Premier League.
Because he's played 4.5 games. I rest my case.
It doesn't matter how many games he's played.
Chris, move on. Who else?
Right, it does.
Don't matter. Don't matter. It's go on. Move on, Chris.
I'll come to you, Andy.
Yeah.
Fucking
And my question will be: so far, we've had John Stones getting rid of John Stones. I think off a couple of people. How much are we going to get for John Stones? I'll ask everybody.
30 to 40.
Okay, you're saying 30 to 40. You reckon somebody's going to pay that? I very much doubt it.
20 million.
Alan?
20 million.
20 million. That's probably mine. Chris?
I'd say 25 personally.
You say 25. Martin?
30 million if it's Arsenal, 40 million if it's Newcastle.
40 million?
Yeah, because Newcastle will pay that.
Tom?
15 million if we're lucky.
I know, I don't mean it. I mean, be honest. I mean, how much do you think City will get? 15 million?
Right. 17.5 million then, if we're being honest.
17.5 million. Karl?
25. Half price.
25 million. That is a really, really bad deal.
That's Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan, all right. Oh, sorry. How much do you think?
40.
You said 30 to 40 million. 30 to 40 million quid. Well, do you really think in this day and age, after everything that's happened, we've already seen players now not going to be worth anywhere near what they were originally worth? And in fact, I'm sure you know the stats. They're already talking about the fact that players that were worth 250 million are now worth 180. Players that were worth 200 million are now worth 150. Players that were 150 are now worth 100.
Well, what are we saying he was worth before lockdown?
So we're saying he was £10 million less than we paid for him. Really? When he's had 4 absolutely horrendous seasons, according to some. And we only want 10 million less. Who the hell is going to pay 40 million Stones?
It's an English centre-back. That's worth 20 mil.
What's that? What's that? What do you say? Sorry, mate. I miss you there. Ryan, say.
He's an English centre-back. That's worth 20 mil.
So you think you honestly believe we can get 30 to 40 million pounds in this day and age for John Stones?
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Stones. I think Stones might be a casualty. Do I think we're going to sell him? Maybe.
No, I don't.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't.
Remember, he's only got 1 year left in his contract, and there's no offer of a new one on the table.
So there you are, Martin. He's got one year left on his contract, and what you're talking about is £40 million.
Yeah, but I said one club will pay that. I didn't say every club. I said one particular club will end up paying that.
No, but I'm just bringing it back to Ryan. Ryan said 30 to 40 million quid. He's got 1 year left on his contract.
Yeah, 25.
And
I feel like you could get him to re-sign a deal.
He's not being offered one.
Rather than letting him... Yeah, but I think the club would rather get him on a new contract than let him go for free.
He's been told he's not getting extended.
I mean, that's fine by me. That's fine with me.
For me, I'd keep Stones. I'll be honest with you. I'd keep Stones. I'd get rid of Cancelo. I think it was just a terrible, terrible signing. I think it was just. I said it right from before he came. I said it would be a poor signing. and nothing whatsoever has changed my mind. I think it's a terrible bit of business, and I'd rather us take him out and swap him with somebody and get some money off with somebody else. That'd be for me, because there's no way Walker's going out for Cancelo. Absolutely no chance. Alan?
I personally think after what's happened in the world and transfers values have gone down, that City will hold on to majority of the players. The loss of money and see what the market comes out the year after. And because you can't afford to get rid of, let's say, 5 or 6 players at a massive loss, it just wouldn't make any sense. And the only danger we've got is if we do get banned, and then we might have a problem.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's really dodgy times, and if we get time, I've got a question that I'll ask at the end, but surrounding that.
Up on the league then next year. With that theory, I understand what you're saying. Are we giving the league up then next year?
What do you mean? What's that mean?
Because that squad right now is not going to close a 25-point gap on Liverpool.
I agree with you.
So we might as well give up the league.
But the same squad,
Well, I've said if we bring in a centre back, I think we're right there.
Yeah, I agree.
So do I.
1 centre back.
Yeah, so do I.
Like Alan said about keeping the majority of them, and that's fine. But then you're going to have to either play them, or they're going to all be sat on the bench then. If you bring others in.
Well, they're going to rotate.
No, because that squad has proved this year they're not good enough to compete with Liverpool.
Well, no, all right. Well, hold on a minute. We lost. Was it 18 goals and 15 assists by Leroy Sané? We lost our one of the best defenders in world football in Laporte.
Well, the top goal scorers in the league. I'm not having the Sané bit at all.
Yeah, but you look at our goal. You look at our goal difference this season compared to last season and the season before. It's a massive difference.
Yeah, you bring in 1 centre back. You don't have Laporte out for the entire season.
You need more than 1 centre back. You need 2.
Sané's
it depends on how many you get rid of. If you don't get rid,
hang on. You got a situation where one, we didn't replace Vincent Kompany, which was criminal, right? And if Laporte goes down injured, that means you're left with 2 centre halves who are awful, right? And they are awful, okay? And it's no good hiding the fact that they're not, because they are both not good enough to wear that shirt at the moment. Okay?
I wouldn't say they're awful.
I disagree with you on Otamendi, but that's my opinion.
Andy, I agree with you on the Otamendi one.
Hear me out.
Look at us agreeing with Andy.
So, to me, you need to replace a Vincent Kompany. You need to get somebody in who replaces him, and you've got to get rid of at least one of those 2. If you're saying that, so that's 2 centre halves, not 1.
Right, okay, Alan. I'll come back to you on that point then, just to expand it further. How much did you say we'll get for Stones?
20 million.
So we get 20 million for Stones, and you want to get rid of Otamendi as well. So how much are we getting rid of? How much we're going to get for Otamendi?
You'd probably get around about the same amount. We bought him for 44 million.
How much?
We bought him for 40 million, didn't we?
No, how much will we get? No, if we sold him.
For Otamendi, I say 15 million.
Right, so that means
a lot for someone his age.
Well, let's just say we've got 35 million. Yeah, we've got 35 million. Just remind me, how much are the likes of Skriniar and the other players that we're going in for?
Well, in today's market, with what's going on, it won't be 60. It'll be at least 40.
What, Skriniar?
No.
You're joking.
Inter Milan aren't in the position.
There's no chance Inter Milan will let Skriniar go for 40 million quid. No chance.
Inter Milan have said they won't sell him now.
Well, I'll tell you straight now, if we don't sign 2 centre halves,
we're screwed.
Say goodbye to the league title.
Leonardo Bonucci is the man you need to bring in.
But we'll forget about that. I mean, we'll just let's not get into who we should be signing. I'm just saying on the question that Chris raised about the defenders going out is the fact of all of you have been said. My point back to all of you was about how much are we going to get for Stones and how much are we going to get for Otamendi in this current climate. Well, if we take an average, let's say 35 million for the two of them, might get a bit more or whatever. But I mean,
Andy, how many of the top 10 teams in England, okay, in the Premier League, would sign Otamendi and Stones?
Well,
of the top 10.
Be honest.
Well, I'll tell you. Well, if you said to me now, out the top 10, which teams would Otamendi and Stones get into?
Yeah,
I would say he would get both of them would probably get into Wolves.
Really?
Get into Sheffield United.
Yeah.
I reckon one of them would get into Man United.
Oh no!
I do. Yeah, I do. No. Yeah. Maguire and Stones together. I bet you.
Ahead of him.
It'd work that for
Lindelof. Lindelof. He's their centre back.
I see
You've got. There. Well, no, I'm telling you. I bet you 5 or 6 teams out of the top 10 will take Stones and Otamendi in there. I'm not saying both of them together. I'm saying would take one or the other.
Andy, I had a conversation. This is where the bar's been set. I had a conversation with a certain person on our panel about this subject, about Otamendi and Stones. And out of our centre halves that we've got available, apart from Laporte, I'm talking about Otamendi and Stones. In fact, would any of our back four with Otamendi and Stones as centre halves get into Liverpool's team?
Well, that's irrelevant.
Well, that's who we're competing against.
Well, it's not. No, Laporte was getting. Laporte.
Yeah, but then again,
he's the only one.
Yeah, but who in their midfield would get into ours?
Well, yeah, exactly. So it's irrelevant because it's like saying, well, how many of your midfielders was getting to ours with our full strength squad?
Well,
no.
what you class?
Well, I tell you what. Well, well, what?
Sadio Mane getting every day of the week.
Yeah, but he's a winger. That's a midfielder.
It's not a midfielder.
Wingers can be midfielders as well.
But especially in Liverpool's team, Salah and Mane essentially play as strikers.
Fabinho would get.
Would he?
What?
No,
in our team?
He wouldn't get.
Yeah.
No. He doesn't get. He doesn't get into Bal. He doesn't play for Brazil. There's a reason he doesn't play for Brazil.
Fabinho.
You know, Liverpool is 25 points ahead of us, but they're utter garbage. I wonder what we're doing wrong here.
I mean, their midfield.
Martin, it's been stop being so dramatic. It's been a bad season. Stop being dramatic.
Well,
we've just had 198 points, for God's sake. We had 2 massive players missing this season. It's a bad season. Stop being so dramatic. It's like it's the end of the world. We're never going to win the Premier League ever again unless we get a whole new team.
I'm being dramatic. I'm being honest, though.
Right.
I'm being honest. I'm not.
You're being honest. You said Fabinho's going to get in a Man City midfielder. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Stop talking shite. Jesus Christ. Right, let's move on, Chris.
He doesn't play for Brazil.
My Lord.
I
give up. I give up. Go on, carry on, Chris. Chris.
I'm trying.
Somebody else.
Alan.
We still have to come to Martin.
I think everything's been covered. I don't think, my opinions about our defence is well known. I don't rate our defensive unit. When you're having to put a midfield player into central defence because the other two are shit, is completely obvious. I think everyone knows where our Achilles heel is and what we need to do.
Okay, mate. My mate, Martin.
Oh, everything's fine. We're going to win. Jesus Christ, we're amazing.
He wants Fabinho at centre back.
Did I say centre back? I said CDM.
That's even worse.
I'm joking. Calm down.
Hey, listen.
Who do you want to get rid of?
Who would I get rid of? You better get your pen and paper out.
No, defence. We're just asking it in the defence. That was Chris's question. Which defender would you want to get rid of if you had to?
Stones.
Yeah.
Because I think he's in his last year of his contract, and that's the big problem. You know, we're going to end up in a... We're turning into Arsenal, letting everyone run down the contracts at the minute here.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on at the minute. But,
last year as well.
Pardon?
It's last year as well. I think it is.
Mendes.
Yeah, Otto Mendy. Otto.
Yeah, I think it might.
Yeah, ultimately will be going into the last one.
Don't think Mendy's signed an extension, has he?
No, Otto Mendy.
No, I know you said Otto Mendy, but I think Mendy's in the last year as well, isn't he? Or the last year and a half.
No.
So you were just coming. You were just coming in and out then.
Yeah.
So I'd keep Mendy because, like I said, I think Mendy. If you get a fit Mendy, there's not many better left full backs around, but you've got to get him fit. I think he's in the last chance saloon, Mendy. This is now. Mendy's now in the now or never stage. He either does it or he's out the door. But I mean, like I said, I got told on the quiet they were trying to sell him anyway. The problem is they can't get anyone to pay 50 or 60 million for him. That's the asking price they want. They want 50. They want the money back on him. No one's willing to do that. So I'd probably keep. I'm happy with Garcia and I'm happy with Taylor Howard-Bellis. Stones, Otamendi, I'd like to keep for a year, but the problem is with Otamendi is will he want to sit on the bench for a year? Because I don't think Otamendi will be used as a first teamer. I think he'll be used as a squad player at best. You know, I think you're going to see him in the Carabao Cup and that. I think that's about it. I don't think Otamendi will want to do that.
I think that's a good point. I think that's a good point with Otamendi. I think you said there he might want it, but then the flip side is if he has got a year left on his contract, you know, at the end of it, he can name his price as a signing on fee, can't he? So he might be looking at it from that point of view and going, well, if I, have one more year in the Premier League on good wages, somebody might pay me a 10, 15 million pound signing on fee. I'll go on a free, that type of thing.
The problem is we've got until this cascade gets sorted out. Until this cascade gets sorted out, we're actually playing stuck in the mud at the minute. Yeah. We can't make decisions on anything or anyone or any time. Because we're going to have an A list and we're going to have a C. We can't do anything.
I doubt if the club are in that. I mean, these guys are smart. They've thought this thing through. They probably have a plan A and a plan B. I would give them some more trust, man. They probably figure this out. It's part of their job is to figure this out.
What way?
Sorry?
No, what I mean is a top player won't sit if we're not in the Champions League.
You never know that. Right, you don't know that. Didn't Pogba go to Man United when they weren't in the Champions League? The players go to things for different reasons. So
but Karl, we have to admit we're not Man United. We're not the size of Man United, mate. We have to admit
money.
That.
You got money.
City won't pay the money. They don't pay the money.
Yeah,
that's why they've never gone above 60 million. They've never gone above 60 million for anybody.
Well, my point is that I'm sure these guys know what it takes to get over the line, and I'll just give them the benefit of the doubt. Either which way, whether cast goes our way or doesn't go our way. We can't assume the world's going to end. The world's not going to end. I'm not saying it's going to end. Right?
I'm not going to say it's going to end. I'm just saying that I think if we end up getting banned for 2 years, we're going to have to worry about bigger players and John Stones and Otamendi walking out the door. That's the problem we're going to have.
That's the one that league without superstars, right? I mean, look, anything can happen, man. As long as we have the coach. We have a good core team, and even with the ban, I'm not too worried about the ban.
I don't think Pep will stay. I don't think Pep will stay if we get banned. That's just my opinion.
Well, just to move on, we're going into avenues of venturing away from Chris's original question ages ago, which was about which defenders do you think merit a stay and haven't, who's not had a go? Ryan?
That's everyone.
No, I think it's everyone.
Is that everybody? I'm just trying to keep it on track because we can venture off into all sorts of different things. But anyway, listen, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. This is the end of part 1 of the Friday Night Social. Stick around for part 2. which we've got more questions coming up. And if it's anything as heated as those first two, I'm sure you'll enjoy. But anyway, take care. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and we'll see you soon.
Right.